Good morning, everyone. Morning to you indeed, and welcome to Monday, the 24th of August, 2026. And I'm Pearson Bowen, welcoming all of you at the start of this brand new week to a brand new opportunity to get up and praise your God and Savior, and then to love your neighbor as you love yourself as well, to make a difference to self and make a difference to someone else today. So to all of you, good morning. Here's another opportunity. Thank you for those of you joining us on our streams on Facebook, YouTube, and our website, cbc.bb. To each of you, thank you for making the extra choice. I ask you to take one extra step now, which is to share the show. Share the show. Hit share, send it to someone else, contact them, and let them know this is where we hang out every morning from 6 o'clock indeed, to engage with each other, but also to engage with the show. So as you have your commentary with each other and your greetings, talk to us as well. We absolutely love to see your engagement when you engage with what we talk about every single day. So thank you so much for doing that. And as always, as I always remind you, if you know of someone who has a story to tell, or someone whose story is so good, you think Mornin Barbados needs to feature it, then you can simply tell us by sending us an email. That email address is there on your screen. It's morninbarbados@cbc.bb. morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Send us all you know with all the contacts that you have, and we will follow up from there. We'll see how we can follow through on your tip. We thank you for doing so as well. So where in the world are you watching us from? Where in the world are you watching us from? I know a number of you watch us from the United States, some from the UK, some as far flung as Europe. Where in the world are you watching for us from? Tell me. Send me something, a message. Let me know where you're watching us from, and we'll be very much happy to say good morning to all of you. But we welcome you to Mornin Barbados today. So how was your weekend? What did you get up to? What are you busy doing? Well, the Caribbean Grand Market continues. I see people out having fun by day and by night as well. There's also buying up the many services and products that are available across the region, because in one space and one big tent, that is Carifesta House, is where the Caribbean has come together all this week until the end of the month. And so you have an opportunity today, every day, as a matter of fact, from 10 o'clock in the morning, to go see what the Caribbean has produced, to go buy what the Caribbean has produced, to go enjoy what the Caribbean has produced. And all day long, right through to the night, there are nightly and daily concerts put on by the best of Barbados as well. So it's a good hangout spot, but you know what it is? It is also the food of the region as well. Yep, you knew what it meant to stand in line at the Grenada stall last year, as a matter of fact, for Carifesta, for the oil down. Well, you can have more oil down and other tastes of the region as well when you come to the Caribbean Grand Market at Carifesta House. I want to encourage as many of you as possible to use this opportunity all this week to avail yourself of products and services that you'd have to travel to get or go online to service, but they're here, right here in Barbados. The folks who are here have brought enough so that we can have enough and more as well. So I want to encourage you to attend the Caribbean Grand Market at Carifesta House from 10 o'clock each day right through until the 30th of this month indeed, to see the best of the Caribbean in one spot. Also, get ready for the dance series Amalgamation, which starts tomorrow and continues on Wednesday. The first show is on Tuesday, and then there's a matinee show on the Wednesday. And so I want you to encourage you to come out and see dance as well. Dance, Amalgamation, looking at the different rhythms through dance and the rhythms through the creative of our artists as well. So let's get ready to come out to the Frank Cullimore Hall for Amalgamation. Oh, did you get to the circus? Did you go to the circus indeed? Remember, the circus is in town, and there are shows Monday through Sunday. Every day there's a show. And so there's a daily show, then there are weekend shows, and they're looking forward to having all of you come under that big tent as well to see all of the skills of the different actors in the big tent, the Suarez Brothers Circus, on at the Garrison Savannah. That's where they're located, the Garrison Savannah, the big tent right in the middle of the field. You'll see exactly where to go, and you'll see exactly where to enter so that you can come and enjoy the laughter, the spill, the thrills, the everything of the clowns and trapeze artists and everybody else who's there as well in the Suarez Brothers Circus. So I want to encourage you to come out and be a part of that as well. So there's a lot happening, including back to school. As a matter of fact, I hope that you've got everything in order now for your children to go back to school, whether it be the uniform, the book bag, the books, and you're also preparing them to get them mentally ready for school. As a matter of fact, that's what we're going to be looking at in just a moment. How do we get our children prepared to go back to school? Have you tried the Calm Down Kit? Have you tried that? You yourself tried it, and then you can introduce it to the children as well. So one of our counselors will join us this morning as we continue our conversation on preparing our children mentally and emotionally, and preparing you mentally and emotionally as well as you manage the transition either from primary to secondary school or from one class to another class as they continue to excel and make their way through. Speaking of which, congratulations to all of the scholars, the new scholars and exhibition recipients of Barbados. Many, many of you. A large catch. It really was this time around. So well done, Barbados, and its production of results. And well done to all of you who took the chance on yourself through your education, and you have done really, really handsomely. The next stage of your journey continues, and it never ends, really and truly, because you learn every moment of every day. I like the term lifelong learning, and so you're on the journey towards lifelong learning, and now here's another opportunity for you to move on to somewhere else, to try something else and learn something new as you advance yourself in your career as well. So congratulations to all of our children who've done so well indeed. Also today, esteemed educator Sandy Field Kelmer will continue our look at how do we get ourselves really ready from the primary to the preschool to the secondary, all of it ready for the return to school as well today. This coming Thursday, the 27th of August, is Jackie Opel Day. Jackie Opel, the little man who could. And so we want to celebrate him. And so they're having a big opportunity for all of you, a symposium, as a matter of fact. You do not just ignore the fact that he was a spooge man. He's dead over 57 years now, but what has he left for all of us? What is his legacy? And this dovetails beautifully with the season of emancipation, because even through music, we have been able to find our journey and tell our stories as well. American hip-hop artist Jadakiss will probably join us this morning. We're looking forward to seeing sitting down with him in just a little while. There's also this morning an introduction to some new initiatives by the Ministry of Fisheries. And so we'll look a little bit about that, about what they're doing. And this is really applicable to fishers and sellers of fish and us, the consumers. Well, I really don't want you to miss that at all. And so with the media continuing also to be in focus, the president of the Caribbean Broadcasting Union at the recently held annual General Assembly in Guyana of the Caribbean Broadcasting Union has some profound statements to make. And so we'll share with you what he had to say here on Morning Barbados today. So with all that said, marvelous morning to you as well today. Allied Video, good morning indeed. Thank you so much for considering us the best. Sweet Ron's, morning, Sweet Ron's, magnificent Monday to you as well. Oh, get up and take the challenge to exercise, everybody. Good morning, Pat Ben, watching from the US. Remember, I want to know from you folks where you're watching from, if you're watching from across the world. So tell me where you're watching from. Vereen, good morning to you as well. So follow Carlos Cott's call to all to get up and get going. Get up and get going. David Seals, good morning to you as well. How do you do today, David? Have a lovely one. Lady G, you're watching from the UK. Thank you so much for watching us. Have a marvelous today. Pat Ben, I know you're watching from Philly. Good morning, you're a good Philly girl. Good morning, Pat Ben. Vereen is watching from New Rochelle, New York, in Westchester City. Good morning, Vereen. That's where you are. How do you do, Vereen? Thank you so very much for watching us indeed. So all show long, interrupt me anytime. Tell me where you're watching from. I absolutely love to greet you all over the world. Thank you so much for doing so indeed. Get ready also for the seniors games. There was a big motorcade through town and then a big dance at Golden Square at the weekend as well. I saw many of you on the street parading, and so I know you, when you assembled at the Golden Square, you had a wonderful time dancing as well. We were constantly moving. And so Carlos Scott says to all of us as we age to keep moving, challenges us every day to spend some time on the road moving and doing things for movement. All of that is important indeed. And so I want to encourage you by joining with him in doing so. And as you do, take your video and send it to us. If you take a video, send it to us by email. That email address is morninbarbados@cbc.bb, and we will share it. I want to see all of you moving. Let's get up and get moving. We're 11 minutes after 6 o'clock. We'll take a break here. We get going in just a moment on Morning Barbados.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
Preserve your personal priceless memories. Here at CBC, we transfer VHS, DVDs, Beta, U-matic, and DV-CAM tapes to modern digital formats. Safely, quickly, and affordably. Call CBC on 467-5437 to get started. In just 2 weeks, your memories will be ready to relive and share again.
Are you ready to turn it all the way up?
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're 12 minutes after 6 o'clock now, and the last time we met, we were talking about getting ourselves and our children ready for the return to school and being able to spot when they're challenged in any way emotionally and mentally. They're just not fitting in and they feel very awkward. And as a consequence, they sometimes can find themselves in the dark spaces of their mind. Dr. Dominiqua Griffin is a licensed and professional counselor, as we had her last time, and so she joins me again today. Dr. Griffin, good morning to you.
Yes, good morning. How are you?
I'm
Nice
doing
to see
well.
you
How
again,
do you
Pearson.
do? Say it again.
I'm well. I said nice
Good.
to see you again, Pearson. I'm well.
Thank you so much indeed for joining us. And so this is a big subject matter, as a matter of fact, because the journey is not, there's no end to the journey, simply because the child's journey through education lasts a number of years. And so the better we are at being able to spot when the child struggles and how do we respond to it is important. The better we're able to prepare our children for what to expect is also quite important, and we can never stop being prepared. And so where do we start this morning? Because there's so much to unpack.
Yes, so we definitely have to start the conversation at home and then also focus on what's happening at school, right? So a lot of my research in the past has focused on school family community partnerships and making sure that children and families are both having relationships and engaged with the schools in productive ways, as well as access to community resources, and making sure that all of the individuals involved in providing services for them are a part of the conversation. So parents and families identifying what their child needs, sharing that information with the school ahead of time, and making sure that everyone is on board with providing the services that the child needs. If you know that your child experienced or your family experienced something tragic over the summer or over the break, just making sure that the school is aware of that so that they can be cognizant of how to support the child, or maybe they need to take a break during the school day or something along those lines. So it's making sure that you identify what's happening at home and sharing that information, and making sure there's an ongoing conversation with those that are there to provide the services for the children.
And you are so right, you know, and sometimes us as Bajans, we say, well, that's nobody's business. I don't have to share my business with anyone. That's the attitude we tend to take. But it is when we take that attitude, we're not providing our children with the best possible outcome. And so sharing with the school says, school, I want you to understand that little Jada, little Johnny, as well, they've had this particular trauma. And as a consequence, just look out for the behavior. I want you to just keep a close eye on them and understand why, when they respond in a particular way, this is perhaps where it's coming from. And it's important that the school respects that one, the privacy, but also explores what's possible with trying to trigger in that child a positive outcome. And so it's important, I believe, that educators are also partnering in such a way, but with responsibility. And that's what we are asking for, right?
Correct. And that is actually something that came up in the research that I had conducted while I was living there in Barbados, the family's response, right? So this idea of not sharing family business within the school system, that is something that definitely comes up consistently, and it's just a part of the culture. And that's a huge part of how counselors are able to show up for families. But there are more families that are more open to receiving services and inviting schools into the conversations. But yes, that is definitely a huge component of where the conversation not only starts, but where it needs to continue to go. So as far as the counselors providing services for them, they're able to say, okay, yes, I'm working in conjunction with the teachers as well as the principal. Everyone is on board. Here are the resources that we have. Here are some of the resources that are out in the community. And here's how we can better support your child, whether it be a learning disability that they may have, maybe there's a psychological challenge or mental health challenge that they're experiencing. The conversation needs to be open and fluid and ongoing.
And that's the community of which you speak, whether it be the the school environment or the church environment. That's the community of which you speak. When you say it is not just the person who's next door to you or the guy all the way down the road he needs to know. You're talking about those who have a vested interest in the child's development to know. That's what you're sharing, right?
Correct. Yes. So whoever is involved in the child's life and also community resources, right? So when I think about that, I'm thinking about the church. I'm thinking about the after school program. I'm thinking about the sports that they may be involved in or lessons or dance classes, all of the spaces in which the children are engaged within the larger community, but also who's directly impacting them at school, the counselors that they work with, the teachers, any other professionals that are there working in the school system, as well as the administrators, and then thinking about your family and close loved ones that play a part in the child's life as well. That's what I mean by school family community partnerships, and making sure that everyone is a part of this conversation and making sure that resources are being provided to the child and to the family. Because it's not only the child that may need resources, the family may be going through something as well and need some support, right? You may have a child that lost a grandparent. So now the family may need family counseling or trying to get through something, right? So we just need to be focused and concentrated on that.
Sometimes you don't like being in the spotlight. Yes, you know, but please don't turn the spotlight on me, because that in itself makes me very, very uncomfortable. I want to talk now to the educator. I want to hear from you. How do we help educators, knowing what they know, respond in a way that the child does not in any way further feel damaged by you knowing?
Correct. Yes. So I do believe in a systems approach to addressing children's needs. And when I say that, I'm thinking about the teachers are working in conjunction with the counselors as well as the administrators. So if a teacher is aware of what's going on with the child, or maybe the child wrote something in their journal in class and now they're like, oh, wait, what do I do with this information? It's okay to share something with the counselor to make sure that they can provide maybe one-to-one counseling with them, enroll the child in a group counseling session, or have them receive outside services. But that is, once you realize this is not my responsibility, as in terms of I need to take care of this myself, I may need to refer. Right. So being okay with referring the child on to the guidance counselor, to the school counselor, and making sure that they're able to have a conversation with the child. We have to know what exceeds our professional capacity, and that's something that we need to be cognizant of. So as educators, teachers, they may be the first responders because they see the child every day in class, in first period, second period, right? So they see them, they have that close-knit relationship with them, but it's not necessarily their immediate responsibility. It's something that they need to refer on to the professionals that are there to provide the services for the children. And that's what I mean by those partnerships. It's really those, it's not formal partnerships, right? Although it could be, but it's really those conversations where it's everyone that's impacting the child's life really coming together. And we have to think of this, when I say from a systems level approach, I do think about the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Health. Where does mental health policy fit into the conversation? Where do educators go to get that support? Maybe they're experiencing their own trauma. Are there resources available for them to unpack that and to be able, or trainings to be able to get through some of those situations? So in serving the child, we also have to serve ourselves and make sure that educators have the resources that they need as well.
Should I tell the child that I told your teacher about this, or should I not?
So it depends on the situation, right? And you can also have a conversation with the child. Is this something that you feel comfortable with me sharing? Would you like to share it with them yourself? Maybe we can go together and have this conversation with the teacher. Maybe we can go together and have this conversation with the counselor. So those are all different it's really about knowing the child and knowing what they prefer, what they need in the moment. Maybe it is something that's severe where you need to just share that information and pass it along. Here we call it being a mandated reporter. Suppose the child is having suicide ideations or thoughts of harming themselves or someone else. That information needs to be shared relatively immediately, right? To make sure that no one is harmed in the process. So we need to think about what is the actual need for the child, what would be best to support them without causing any further harm, but making sure that everyone is on the same page and that the child is best supported in the end. And something that does come up with children, sometimes they don't know what's needed for them in the moment, right? They might think it's best to just keep it quiet, don't say anything, but realistically, that information needs to be shared.
And that's why having that relationship with the school is so vitally important. A kind of relationship where we're partners for our children and our children's growth and development indeed. And that is often done for a lot of people through the Parent-Teacher Association. For some, it is simply, you just have a meeting with the principal or the guidance counselor, just to have your private moment. But you being involved in the life of the child and the life of the school makes that so much easier for the child to live in that moment for those number of years they're spending in that particular environment among people sometimes who don't quite understand. And so having that time, folks, and just preparing your child, one, for the return, recognizing there's a bit of a trauma the child would have had, and having that conversation with the school authorities as well, and all in that community of care, so that everyone understands what is required for the child and the best outcome of the child. All of that is so vitally important. I want to shift for just a second now to look at the whole concept of getting the child mentally and emotionally ready for the return to school, and knowing that, one, new books, perhaps your timetable shifts as well. So let's talk a little bit about it, because you sent me an example of a study plan. So let's take a look at that and why that study plan is designed the way it is.
Yes. So making sure that the child is aware of what they need, what is it that they need. So you mentioned some of the books, looking at their schedule, what's going to shift. Is their after school schedule going to shift? That's something else that needs to be figured out. What is their after school routine going to include? Does it mean that they have to walk their sister home and then go to lessons? Or do they have to stay after school and then go to football practice? Those are all of some of the things that need to be considered. And then when we think about where does study time fit in, how am I making sure that I'm prepared for my classes the next day? Do I have a place at home to sit and complete my homework, right? So as you can see here on the study plan, it shows here's my outlined schedule for the day, but also here's my routine on the weekend. And in the afternoons, you fit in time for relaxation. You fit in time for homework. You fit in time to pack your bag. Do I have the same set bedtime? Am I going to sleep on time? Am I getting enough rest? Do I feel rested? Do I need to maybe get into bed earlier on Tuesday because I know that I have a very long Wednesday ahead of me, right? So those are some of the things that we need to think about. We can have a general outline or plan or routine for the school, but week to week that may change. So being flexible, I do urge folks to not be rigid when it comes to planning, but having an idea of what's needed and a typical schedule ahead. Maybe you realize after the first month, this schedule is really not working for me. You have the ability to go ahead and change that. So I do want to add that that was provided by Margaret Grant, and she's the retired school counselor from the St. Michael's School. She was my supervisor there, and she's hosting Camp Transition this week, where she goes over all of that information right there in Barbados with all of the students preparing for secondary school that are already in secondary school and thinking about what are their plans ahead. So that's where that information is discussed fully.
I look at the homework timetable for just a moment, because oftentimes you'd ask the child on its return from school, do you have any homework? You know what the answer is? No. And so the child escapes. You say, okay, well, that's all right. The teacher didn't give you any homework. And we want to blast the teacher without ourselves setting perhaps a homework, a timetable as well. And the homework timetable, as I was watching as well, it just touches every subject within a particular week. And the child works ahead, the child reviews as it reviews as well, but the child gets to continue to practice right through the school week as well, with a day off on Sunday.
Yes. So they do get the day off on the hopefully they do get to take their weekends and take a break, because the breaks are necessary for sure. But as the parent and as the person providing supervision over them, check their bags. It's okay to peruse their homework plan, to peruse what assignments they have. It's better for you to be involved in the conversation early on. So by the time the report card gets there, you are already aware of the grades and the marks that your child is currently receiving, right? So you would have helped them with some of their homework assignments or reviewed them, making sure they have the right answers, answering any questions that they have. Sometimes children just like to fly through their homework assignments and say, oh no, it's done, it's done, it's done. But it's your responsibility really and truly to review that assignment. I know it's tough after a very long work day, but it's also necessary, because the more you have the conversations early on with your child, it saves you, and you have to have fewer conversations with the school later on, especially as it relates to marks.
Absolutely, indeed. But the one I actually quite like as well is your weekly behavior chart.
Yes.
We don't ever track our behavior. So on Monday or Sunday, whatever, describe today's behavior, and tomorrow I will work at, those are the two columns that you fill in, the behavior chart. What do you see this is designed to do?
Right. So this is something that I actually use in session with clients, and I would love to continue to have the conversation with parents after this if anyone wants to sign up for a consultation session. But what I do in session with the students is making sure that they are talking about a behavior that they're working on, and then moving towards, well, what will I work on tomorrow? So if I had a great day today, ideally we want them to have 3 great days, and you'll see that further along. If your child is struggling with some behavioral challenges, so whether it's having a lot of tantrums, talking back, cursing, yelling, crying all of the time, depending on what the behavior is, okay, this is what I plan to work on today. This is what I plan to work on tomorrow, and how I get to change. And you also get to either put stickers on it, put check marks, write down comments on how they performed that day. You get to involve the teachers in that conversation, or the counselors, have conversations with them throughout the week, and then track that over time to see if the behavior is changing or improving, or what you notice about the child's performance. It's really trying to help families pick up on patterns that their child may be experiencing, and ways to shift and change those patterns. So in practice, I do use cognitive behavioral therapy typically, where I think about the feelings and the emotions and how that ultimately impacts and changes behavior, right? Because ultimately we do want to see that shift in behavior.
Absolutely. These are wonderful things. Again, how can people contact you?
Yes, so you can definitely visit my website, it's drdmgriffin.com. So drdmgriffin.com. And there, if you need to sign up for a consultation session, schools or organizations, I would be happy to work with you as well, as we continue to think about how we can provide services for children and families, but also bringing into the conversation mental wellness and policy.
drdmgriffin.com. drdmgriffin.com is where you can go sign up indeed and learn from this lady here. She's just awesome indeed. So thank you so much for joining us yet again. As the series continues, we'll check in with you one more time. Thank you so much for joining us, Dr. Griffin.
Thank you so much. Glad to be here.
Likewise. And so Mornin Barbados takes a break right here. We continue our conversation on education with Sandy Field-Kelman in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We the best music. Are you ready to turn it all the way up? We make you feel good. Your #1 party station. Non-stop hits and the latest trends in music, fashion, and everything lit. Hit us up on socials at 981 Barbados on IG and 98.1 The One on Facebook. This is your world, your playlist, your station. 98.1 the one.
Good morning, Barbados.
Before the island gets going, we're already here. 2 hours every weekday. The people, the stories, and the conversations that matter to Barbados. Guests you won't hear anywhere else. Your health, your culture, your country. No rush, no shouting, just good company to start your day. Mornin Barbados, weekday mornings, 6 to 8 on TV8.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're 28 now to go to 7 o'clock. Our children are so precious. They are the most precious resource we possibly could have. And so we really want as a community to give them the greatest start. We want to see the best outcomes for them. We want to see outcomes with which they're very comfortable as well. And so as we say, congratulations oftentimes to the bright sparks. We also want to say congratulations to those of you who are a little less than, by the eyes of others, who are working so hard. We see you and we congratulate you, little one. So don't be afraid of school. School is going to be so fun you cannot begin to imagine, but it depends on you how you approach it indeed. Sandy Field-Kelman, as we know, we call her our esteemed educator with many, many years of experience and knowledge, and so she comes with great insight and she continues this conversation on education. Sandy, good morning to you.
Good morning, Pearson. How are you today?
I am doing well today. How are you?
Me, always on top of the world, especially school is opening.
What
Looking
does it
forward
look
to
like
that.
up there at the top of the world? Don't laugh. All right.
God's paradise.
Amen on that one. So here we are. School resumes shortly.
That's right.
And so,
Next week is planning week
yeah. So we're planning week for teachers.
for teachers.
Right.
Yes. So really and truly, this is really
The last week.
the last week. Yes.
Work really begins for teachers
Yes.
next
So
week.
really, Pearson, 8 weeks. I mean, I don't know where it has
So
gone.
quickly.
You know, we say 8 weeks some more. It's a long time, but really and truly, we are here.
Yeah.
We're back here. You know what? For another year.
And for a lot of teachers going back into school is having either new children,
Exactly.
whether you're dealing with first formers, or sometimes
Yes.
new children because they're going into another class.
Don't forget the preschoolers, the ones who are going to be crying,
True.
now leaving home for the first time. You know, so we have to really tune into that. And,
Yeah.
you know, teachers have to have that empathy. That's so, so, so important.
Mm-hmm.
When you have those new little ones, never left mommy, and going into this new environment. And the teachers need to provide that environment
Mm-hmm.
for those new children. I'm very concerned about that age group in particular because, you know, older children, they have been there and they're now maybe going to another class, maybe the same school. But even so, I find teachers planning week, yes, is for the timetable and all the things that's going to happen. But planning for me is also planning your whole aura to meet that new child or even another child that's going into another class. You know, it's a new school term, Pearson, you know, and remember a lot of children come to schools with different issues. So you have to be equipped with that empathy and that communication with that particular child, never mind how many children there are. And that's why it's so important. And I always say, you have to have a few children.
Yes.
You know, if you have like 40 children, 30 children, 25 children in a setting, to me, it's a bit much for the teacher, you know. Whereas if you have a smaller group, you can really exchange that empathy and that information because children need to have a teacher who can fit the shoes of their parent. That is really what it is. Have that go-to person, not just for schoolwork,
Right.
you know. But I want to zero in, Pearson, on things like homework. Lots of children tell, oh, I don't have any homework. But the mother, father, grandmother, whoever the child is with, yes, the child has a little nap time and playtime in the evening. But if that child does not have homework, and there will be times that that child might not have homework, you as the guardian, parent, you need to sit, turn off the devices, and sit and have a conversation. That's so important with that child, never mind the age group. You need to read with that child because, as I said, the child has no homework, but just don't say, okay, let us turn on and watch a particular movie. No, let us play a game. Have a conversation with that child. It is so important to build vocabulary, to build, communication. That child needs that because at school, really, the child is really playing. If I'm talking about the little ones, if the child is older, they're talking about the past, what happened in the holidays and so on. So you need to have that conversation. And I really do think parents need to set a routine. I believe in routines. You get up in the morning, the child must say her prayers or his prayers, or you pray with the child. That's what I think happened with us when we were growing up. You have your breakfast, and I'm finding that a lot of children do not come with breakfast. Maybe a pack of chips and a little chubby drink. No, that's not good enough.
Breakfast.
No, that's not stimulating your brain. So the child has a breakfast, and then you have the uniforms ready from the night before. Even if you have 2 uniforms per son, I know situations where the mother has to wash the uniforms. Have that child ready with uniforms, the school bag packed. Of course, over the holidays, you would have had the books labeled, that you would have gone through the content of the books, the textbooks with the child, and have that child really ready, prepared for the school, whether it's first morning or not. And in the evening, you check the child's school bag, check the homework, check the books. Are these the books you're bringing home for homework? I find the parent becomes, in my opinion, the supply shop. It becomes one of the stationaries in Bridgetown. You understand what I'm saying?
I understand.
But in another form, not with necessarily books, but with information and that in between, that connection with the child.
I think when you see the parents so actively engaging, whether it's preparing the uniform, packing the bag, greeting you on your arrival from school, and just saying I love you as you leave, you feel a sense of calm.
Exactly.
You feel a sense of belonging because you know this adult cares, and this adult cares so much that this adult prepares everything.
Even if nobody
that I
else
need.
cares in the school.
Exactly.
Yes.
If no one is, my mother or my father cares.
Grandmother, whoever.
And that, I think, is a wonderful example. And you're right on the breakfast. We cannot be too busy to not have time to prepare a satisfying breakfast for the child. What we tend to do is say, what do you want? Nothing, I just want, and we become permissive.
Exactly.
And you're saying to parents today, do not allow that to happen.
Correct.
Your child needs that resource. That child needs that nutrient, those nutrients in the body.
And Pearson, it's preparation. You prep. Like me for going to camp, I get up and I prep what I have to take to camp to eat because I'm not buying anything from off the street. So you prep. So don't just get up in the morning, you're scrambling for the lunch tin. I remember that when I was bringing up my daughter and I came home, the little ice cooler, it is always clean for the next morning. And, at that time I lived with my parents and they made sure that she has her fruit and she has her a drink that my mother made because she's a Creole woman, and her breakfast. So you're not scrambling at 6:45 in the morning, having to get through the door at 7:30. So you prep for each morning, each day for breakfast. And a child's bags must be checked in the evening. See where did you get this pencil from? Where did you get this rubber from? I did not give you that. And ensure that the child is always well prepared and equipped so that every day, Monday to Friday, that child has no issues when it comes to preparation because my mom, grandmother, aunt does that for me. So parents really need to become the other supply group with having to do these things for that little boy or that little girl or that teenager. And it is very important. And our teachers really need to, put his or herself in that shoe because school is not only about going there to learn. It's making that child a wholesome, well-rounded global citizen. That's so important. And when, as you said, that child knows those things over a period of 13 weeks of school term, that child is different.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And you're preparing that child also for when he or she becomes a mother or a father.
Precisely.
They carry. I know it in my own life with my parents. You know, my mother, and she used to see us off. My father used to take us to school, and my mother would see us out to the gate, give us a hug and kiss, and, you know, leave you with some kind, loving word. You know what I mean? So it takes you through your day, even if you have a detention.
Yes.
Those things, you know, maybe if you misbehave at school and so on. So I really do think that people and parents really need to take this school thing a little more seriously, so that that child is, as I said, you know, feel this kind of in a comfort zone, and not just going to school to learn, and you know that I have my go-to person, whether it's my aunt, mother, or so on. So I think homework, so important.
Yeah.
So important.
It's you're leading by example, parent. You're showing the children soft skills as well.
Exactly.
But at the same time, you remember you have a responsibility, and you accept your responsibility when you gave birth. And so at birth, you have a responsibility to meet for the child who you created. And part of that responsibility is that you shall, I'm not giving you options, you shall wake up every morning to prepare a nutritious breakfast for the
Exactly.
child. You shall get involved in all of the child's living
Activities.
Correct.
Yes, you have to.
Shall.
You have to do that, because Pearson, as I said, school should not just be seen as a place of going to learn, you know, from the books and so on. It's a wholesome thing.
Yeah.
And the school needs to provide that environment. I am seeing that a lot of schools, I passed a school yesterday, and the front of the school is just like, wow. I mean, and that has not been so, I mean, since it was built, because it's a school that was built, you know,
some time ago.
I mean, so schools are doing that. So those things, that welcoming, and it's important that I pass a lot of schools, and the grass in front needs to be taken out, and put some nice palms, have a welcoming, you know, ambiance for that child when it comes in, because all of that is a wholesome atmosphere.
Yes.
The classroom should be bright and brilliant with lovely posters and a welcoming feeling, because remember, some children don't have the privilege of coming from a home like that.
Yes, yes.
So you want, when you go in to school on the 6th or 5th of September, that is like wow, it's like God's paradise.
And it's not just a one-day event.
No,
teachers.
it should be permanent.
If you can do this every day or as often as possible, and make it an exciting arrival for the children, it makes a world of a difference.
Exactly. And having the children's uniforms ready for the next day.
Yes.
Not that you get them in the morning and, Pearson shirts are not clean. You have to ensure that by the weekend, you have all those shirts ready for Monday. Whether it's 5 a week you're wearing, or if it is 2 and you're washing. You know what I mean? So the onus is on the parent.
Listen, parents, the Pearson I was, no soil shirts.
There are the supply shop.
Yes.
There are the supply shop.
So, but the thing is, as the child grows as well, get the child involved in helping you prepare as well.
Yes.
And that's part of the journey of learning.
Yes.
And so we can learn, while sitting at desks, returning pages of books and everything else. But life is a journey of learning as well. And so, parent, this is also part of your responsibility. Adults in the house who are part of the house as well, whether it's an older sibling, this is all part of the responsibility. I learned to press when I was not even 10 years old yet.
Of course you had to. And Pearson, trust me, we did that from like age 7.
Yeah.
You know, in those days, your parents used to have, some uniforms had to be starched, right? If the buttons are, you had to, so all of those things, I learned to sew because my mother taught us how to sew buttons on when the buttons came off.
Well, I don't
you
sew,
know what I mean?
but I will
you don't
hem.
have to sew, but at least you have an idea.
I can hem.
You have an idea.
Yeah, I can do all of those.
So those things are really important. And packing your school bag, you know, the night before, ensuring that you have the books for the next day. It is extremely important.
Extremely important, but it's fun. And so, Sandy, I want to thank you so much as always for joining us today.
Pleasure, all the time.
Always. I want parents to understand that if you change your mindset and you see this to be a fun part of your day, then it becomes a fun part of your day.
Exactly.
To wake up every day to see the smile on your face of the child as it leaves for school, the smile as it returns, knowing that it's coming home to a cocoon, of
find out how the day was.
All of that is
on
on you. And so you can make a difference today, starting today. So think seriously about it. Don't get upset. They say, geez, are we all going to give me something else to do? No, think of it a little differently. Shift your mindset.
Parenting is a key word.
Absolutely. Thank you, Sandy, as always.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Morning Barbados comes back right after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. And together we will travel the world.
Preserve your personal priceless memories. Here at CBC, we transfer VHS, DVDs, Beta, U-matic, and DV cam tapes to modern digital formats. Safely, quickly, and affordably. Call CBC on 467-5437 to get started. In just 2 weeks, your memories will be ready to relive and share again.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We are 12 minutes now to go to the hour of 7 o'clock as we turn our attention to Barbados' best, the little man who could. The little man who did not say, I could not. And so the little man stunned the world, and I'm talking about Jackie Opel, who perhaps we need to really make one of our national heroes because of his contribution to not just Barbados, but to the world, in Jamaica in particular. And so Dr. Marcia Burrows joins me now as we get ready for the upcoming Jackie Opel Symposium, 57 years on. Good
Can
morning
you believe it?
Yeah.
Good morning. Let's start Black excellence, Black Barbadian excellence. That's what Jackie Opel represents.
Yes.
We've just had an incredible time of mourning for Sagari Sobers. I was in London. Trust me, the BBC stopped, did promotions on, then cricket stopped at various parts of London. Sagari was so excellent. I think that even though we did, well, my mother took me to see Sagari get knighted at the Garrison in the 1970s. But I don't think we've ever fully understand his excellence. And maybe we're amazed by the outpouring of respect for him. And so Jackie Opel is the same thing. I don't think we fully understood what Jackie stood for. Jackie was an incredible composer.
Yes.
There are comments like he would arrive in the studio without a song and then he'd leave the studio with a song. Or 2 or 3. Let me make sure my numbers. So Jackie Opel is amazing. I think we in Barbados also struggle with class versus excellence. And we still tend to root where you begin, your origins.
Yes.
Hopefully, finally, Jackie came from Chapman Lane, which is deep, deep down in the city. We would call it a ghetto, in a city. And yet he was amazing. He was amazing. Multi-octal vocal cords. He could sing so many things, sing so many tunes. For example, one of his favorites that everyone remembers him for is Fly Me to the Moon, which is really a challenge to sing. And he could sing it with ease. And he always said, I saw something recently where he said he could sing it in Spanish, Bajan, or English. So he claimed that he could sing in multicase. So Unfortunately, he was heading home after a fantastic performance, and something happened. We don't now know that he wasn't driving the car he was killed in. It's possible Jackie was sleeping in the back. And 4 persons in the car, 3 persons got up and walked home to Chapman Lane. 1 was splattered on the sidewalk. So if you know it, you brace yourself for impact. He didn't do that. He was tired. He had just finished performance, and he was to perform again the night in the Globe. Amazingly, I keep asking those who know, I said, how did they, because we know that thousands of people came to the funeral. Apparently, rediffusion.
Yes.
Everyone had a rediffusion.
Yes.
And so rediffusion broadcast it immediately the day he died, 9th of March. Then CBC held a following day, Vic Bruce, an entire day of playing Jackie's music. And then when it came to the funeral, as you said, Toot McGuy show up, everybody show up. I launched the Jackie Opal book in the Barbadian High Commission in London. And this lady put up her hand and said, I was at the funeral. I said, ma'am, how old were you? She says, 4. That her parents made her. This is what is interesting about the funeral. It's a celebration. They made sure the child was there. So she has these memories. 4 years old, she crowds into the cemetery with the thousands of people, and she has the memory of it. My godmother has memories of, well, they couldn't get into the funeral, but her son wanted to be there. So they drove and parked on the outside wall, put him on the roof.
Wow.
And he used to say Zaki Opal because he was 4.
Yes.
So it was an event. I think it to recapture that love, the incredible outpouring of love when he died.
Wow. What a story to be told. And so this symposium helps us to reflect for just a moment and connect again with his story and who he is.
This is it. I think the first panel of the symposium, I call it the over 70s, because it's those who remember seeing Jackie perform. So you've got to be at least 70.
Yes.
This is 2026. But there are many people who remember seeing Jackie perform. So it gives that. I'm going to speak to sonic independence. We always think of political independence. You know, we have a flag. What Jackie provided for Jamaica and Barbados was a sound. So Jackie's voice is a sound of ska. You hear ska, you hear the scatterlights. That's Jackie Opal singing. And then he came to Barbados and he pushed spooge and he gave us spooge. And every Barbadian knows once you hear spooge, you find yourself going, dum, da, da, dum, da, 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 you find yourself moving. So a sonic independence. And then in the afternoon, we have musicians reflecting on what are the musical genres that we have. And then in the end, we have the IP panel. And Miss Erica Smith speaking is going to tell us, it's too late, Barbados, jokes aside, it's too late. We should have renewed the IP, the copyright by 2019. We didn't. It's gone. By the way, my co-author, Professor Aline, every week, there's a Jackie Opal record selling on eBay for hundreds of US dollars. We're not getting anything of
nothing
it.
from it. Ishaka McNeil is one of the undergraduate students at the Faculty of Culture, Creative and Performing Arts. He joins us online. Ishaka, good morning to you. Oh, dear, I think he's stuck right now. I think he's stuck as well.
It's a pleasure to have Ishaka in the faculty.
Because he, too, is one of those who took the art form and perform it.
That voice, I think, the Monarch.
Yes.
The Monarch. To hear Adrian Clark perform Jackie Opal is gobsmacking. And Ishaka to perform Jackie Opal. Ishaka took one of my course and scored instantly in Jackie Opal because he knew everything about Jackie. Where was he born, where was he doing, he sang in St. Mary's Choir, etc., etc. Ishaka knows the background. So it's interesting to find a calypsonian who is so invested, not only in singing and producing the genre, he loves spooge, but actually doing the work.
Wow. And that's great. While we get him sorted out, hopefully really, really soon. So this symposium is when?
It's on Jackie's birth date. Now, to help everyone remember, what we call the riots, what Dr. David Brown called a serious rebellion. 26th of July, 1937. Jackie is born a month after. 27th of August, 1937. So this week, as we were just saying, we should have a Jackie Opal week. Maybe we'll do that next year. Next year, he would have been 90.
Wow.
But on the 27th. And I think I've seen that there's some other events happening on the 27th.
So this coming Thursday, the 27th, we're going to the 3Ws Pavilion.
We are in the 3Ws Pavilion, which is, for those, just enter the university, Capefield campus, and it's right there.
Right there.
It's right. And honestly, it's well signposted.
Yes.
There's a very large car park. And if it's full, then you can be directed to go somewhere else, be there. And that first session, the over 70s, please don't miss that.
Yeah.
All kinds of memories of persons. And for example, someone told me Jackie performed without shoes. But every time I've seen an image of Jackie, he's
in shoes.
well dressed.
Yes.
But it might be that's the time he started to perform with the Troubadours, who were very middle class, Tushban and, Foundation and Harrison College. But I'm now hearing more and more people say, why would he perform without shoes? He liked to flip. So in the early days, maybe he had to learn how to do flips and climb walls and do everything, because I can only think of James Brown. I have not seen an image, I've not seen a piece of footage of Jackie. But if you know James Brown is an entire package.
Energy. And Jackie could beat that.
And Jackie could beat
All
that.
Right. I think we have Aishaka. Aishaka, good morning.
Oh dear.
Hi, good morning. How are you doing? Yes.
You're here. Good to have you, Aishaka. You are a man who embodies Jackie to the hilt. Not just his music, but the study of who he has been in his contribution to music over the years. Talk to me a little bit about what you've learned about Jackie Opel.
One of the most fantastic things about Jackie Opel, that his contribution to the Caribbean is really, really significant. Jackie is known across the Caribbean: Jamaica, Barbados, Trinidad and Tobago, St. Kitts. I always tell people that Jackie's contribution to the musical landscape of the Caribbean is one that goes way beyond anybody's imagination. When you think about Jackie Opel, you think about the Troubadours, and I always tell people that you cannot leave out the Troubadours when you think about Jackie and the creation of spooge music, Barbadians. Studying Jackie, I came up in environments in the New Orleans area, so I was able to be engaged with persons who knew Jackie, who understood what he was doing at night. I remember there's a little shop in New Orleans called Skipping Shop. We have people like Richard Stowe, Mitch Springer, all those guys were live at the shop on weekends. And you will always hear the story about Jackie and what Jackie did and his contribution to music in Barbados. So being a part of that gave me the encouragement, gave me the insight of wanting to know more and get involved in terms of the music. And there's so many stories that are told about Jackie Opel. And these stories sometimes they're really excellent, and then you have stories that sound really bad. But he was the consummate, and he was the person who brought alive a true Barbadian beat, something that Barbadians can hold on to, that Barbadians can embrace. And I believe that we have fallen short in terms of understanding what Jackie was doing for our society.
You're nodding away in total agreement. So clearly you passed your exams. Clearly you did. And so, Dr. Burrows, this is on Thursday.
This is on Thursday.
At what time to what time?
Right. First of all, I've been told to they reminded me to say this. So we are serving lunch. It's an all day. You come at 9:30 until 4:30, but register because we need to know the numbers.
Yes.
So on the flyer, which hopefully you're going to put up to be seen, yes, it says RSVP here. That's really serious. Let us know who's coming. On Friday, there were 50 people registered already, which is kind of scary. So register to get in. But yes, it's all day. And I said, if you have to choose, because I have friends who say, they can't stay for the whole day. I'm saying, make sure you're there for the morning.
Yes.
That morning session of remembrance. And also with the audience there, there'll be individuals there who say, well, I saw Jackie, or my father saw Jackie, my grandmother saw Jackie. So it's going to be a lovely day. So we have what I call the over 70s with great respect, because the elders will speak. Then I will look at sonic independence and Jackie, you just said it. That Jackie created a sound for us, something that we could see and identify as Barbadians. And as I said, when we launched that book in London, You should have seen those Bajans dancing all night. I think we broke the copyright, but never mind. They just kept dancing, and we had lots of entertainment, etc. So Jackie, and that sound that we can hold on to. What is the impact of spooge? So that's I'll keep it short, sonic independence. And then we have person speaking to spooge as a genre. And then we have the Erica Smith, the copyright expert. Also, we then have Radio Bimshire. I don't know how many of you know of Radio Bimshire, but Julius Gittins is speaking.
Okay.
And then we have UWA. So it's a full day. Please register so we can get you on the list and guarantee food.
So look, look at the screen,
No,
everybody.
there's so many people. I mean, we are welcoming everyone.
This is funny. Look at the screen. Look at the screen, everybody. Look, see
Look
where it
at
says
the screen.
RSVP here? Just take note of that and go
notice
RSVP.
the shoes. Whenever we see an image of Jackie, he has on shoes. But apparently he performed without shoes.
So these are some of the memories we'll share on Thursday. Thursday at the 3Ws Pavilion at the Cayfield campus is where we're going for this wonderful celebration in a symposium hosted by the University of the West Indies, the Faculty of Humanities and Education, with the Faculty of Culture, Creative and Performing Arts, and the Office of the Pan-African Affairs and Heritage as well. Big day, Barbados. Big day this Thursday. The 3Ws Oval. Be there for the early start at 9:30. Be there to spend the entire day. There's luncheon there somewhere. Come park at your convenience, but show up and a whole lot more. And register. Thank you so much, Dr. Burrows. Aisha, I wish you had more time, but technically we had some challenges with your connection, but thank you so much for joining us as well. You're very welcome, and so we wish everything well for all of this indeed. So it's a big day, Barbados. Don't miss this one. Morning Barbados is right back right after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
Preserve your personal priceless memories. Here at CBC, we transfer VHS, DVDs, Beta, U-matic, and DV cam tapes to modern digital formats. Safely, quickly, and affordably. Call CBC on 467-5437 to get started. In just 2 weeks, your memories will be ready to relive and share again.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Let's get to the news now. Over the past 3 financial years, the Barbados Customs and Excise Department has collected billions of dollars in revenue. Acting Controller of Customs, Lynette Padmore, says the department collected that significant sum during the period 2023 to 2026. She shared the views and the figures while addressing a church service to celebrate the department's 121st anniversary at Power in the Blood Assembly yesterday.
The data generated from the Automated Systems for Customs Data, ASICUDA, on the financial years from 2023 to July 2026 saw the Customs Department collecting approximately $5,468.6 million in revenue. This has been foregone through concessions and waivers to the business community, or from the fraudulent tax evasion practices of undervaluation of our stakeholders.
Well, the acting controller also notes that so far for 2026, the department seized just under 1,000 kilograms of marijuana with a street value of approximately 8 million Barbados dollars, along with firearms and ammunition.
12 firearms, 15 magazines, and approximately 900 rounds of ammunition were seized. Cocaine, methamphetamines, dangerous tactical gear and equipment, camouflage, tasers, and drones have also always been intercepted at our borders.
Meanwhile, the Minister of Finance, Ryan Strawn, is calling on customs officers to assure Barbadians that they will do the best job in the interest of the country. The minister was also addressing that celebration church service. He noted the importance of the Customs Department working closely with other government agencies as being critical.
It goes without saying, but sometimes we have to give Jack his jacket, as we would say. And the close collaboration between immigration, the police, the BDF, customs, the prison service, and the other supporting agencies really is critical to helping Barbados in the 21st century, to face continuing and very dynamic threats, which all of us as Bajans must be honest in everything that we do if we are going to protect each other.
The minister is also issuing a reminder that the sole purpose of the department is to ensure border security, collect revenue, and facilitate business. He says this is why Barbadians must be honest when they present their information to the Customs and Excise Department.
And each interaction with the public presents a different challenge because we need to do all three at the same time very, 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 very well. But that is often stymied by some other tangential issues which could give rise to, not conflict, but where people misunderstand what needs to be done. And I think in this age of communication as well as misinformation, it is really incumbent upon all of us to do our jobs well every day, communicate what we have to do in the conduct of our work, and to let people know that there are standards below which we shall not drop. Because if you drop below those standards, it means that it potentially exposes all of us as Barbadians.
160 vendors have gathered at Carifesta House at Waterford for the Caribbean Grand Market, with some of them already reporting good business by day 3 of the event. Businessmen and women from Barbados and the region have the opportunity to display a diverse range of products from clothing to cultural cuisine. CBC's Vonado Corbin has a story.
The sights, sounds and flavors of the Caribbean have come together once again as the Caribbean Grand Market brings the spirit of Carifesta back to life. Visitors could be seen darting in and out of various stalls, taking in a vibrant mix of food, fashion, and entertainment. Senior Business Development Officer with the National Cultural Foundation and producer of the Grand Market, Andre Hoyt, says he's pleased with how things have been going so far.
Entertainment has been going well, the crowds have been going well. We have, of course, vendors from across the Caribbean. They all seem to be enjoying themselves. And we're really excited for this activity. As you know, this is a legacy component of Carifesta from last year. So we're happy to be able to provide this platform again for our vendors across the region and strengthening the trade that we need to see more of in the Caribbean.
Executive Manager of a local business, Adela Booz, Sylvester Clark, praised the event and its coordinators, highlighting good sales.
I'm very happy that NCM organized this because these markets normally do well with me. For the time we did Carifesta in 2017, I was happy with it. So when this came again, yes, I got to do it because these markets have been good. The people that come to these markets buy stuff. They're not looking for a cheap thing. They want a good Barbadian product. So when people see my work, they know it's different and they want something that's original and different than a Barbadian thing. So I'm happy, really happy that NCF organized this.
Trinidadian Euclid Wellington Christopher of the Yank Home Store TT is offering African and African-inspired home decor.
It's good, it's good. I mean, we are grateful for anything that happens. It's not as big as Carifesta was, but that could work in our favor. So we have 8 more days to go, so we'll see how it goes.
Guyanese entrepreneur Sean Hopkinson is offering a unique product made with a single grain of rice.
The rice jewelry has to do with my art. And my art is basically writing your name on a single grain of rice. So right now in my hands, I have one of them where I've wrote Caribbean Grand Market on a single grain of rice. So what we do, we personalize them right here.
And Gail Sukai of Gail's Leather and Variety Store, who manufactures genuine leather products, says she is expecting good business.
Well, it's okay. I already build a lot of clientele in Barbados. Actually, everyone in Barbados know about my products, so they come out and look for me.
One patron was enjoying the atmosphere.
I just love it to know that we have our Caribbean brothers and sisters and our locals here to showcase their individual, unique products. I love it.
The event continues until next Sunday with daily themed nights. Bernardo Corbin, CBC News.
Well, Barbados is using its culinary talent to sell the destination to visitors even before they step foot on the island. This as A Taste of Barbados returns to P&O Cruises for a second season, bringing Bajan cuisine and cocktails directly to cruise passengers traveling through the Caribbean. Tia Brooms, Senior Business Development Officer at the Barbados Tourism Marketing Incorporated, says the initiative follows a successful first season.
The BTMI is pleased to announce the return of P&O's Taste of Barbados culinary experience for a second season this coming winter. This follows a successful launch of the program last winter season. P&O is one of Barbados's long-standing home porting partners, and this stands as a testament to the solid relationship that we have with the P&O brand. Through the Taste of Barbados, P&O has provided a platform for their guests to engage with the destination through food by bringing our local chefs and mixologists on board to share their talent and creativity with the guests. Barbados is regarded as the culinary capital of the Caribbean, and this initiative is really about sharing our culinary story with the world by showcasing the immense talent and skills of the artisans within our local tourism industry.
Let's get to sports now. Barbadian multi-sport junior athlete Luke McIntyre has added another major international title to his resume with a victory in the junior men's race at the 2026 America's Triathlon Junior Cup in Lima, Peru. McIntyre crossed the finish line in 58 minutes and 26 seconds atop a competitive field of 18 athletes over the sprint distance course, which included a 750-meter swim, 18.7-kilometer bike ride, and 5-kilometer run. He shared the fastest swim split of the day in 10 minutes 55 seconds, followed by 31 minutes 40-second bike leg, and then he produced the fastest run of the clock, clocking 14 minutes and 27 seconds to pull away from the field and seal the title. According to World Triathlon's ranking database, yesterday's victory takes McIntyre's career record to 5 wins and 7 podium finishes from 12 starts. It is also his second podium finish during his South American campaign, following a third-place finish in the junior men's race at the America's Triathlon Championship in Chile in July. That's a look at news and sports. Morning Barbados is right back right after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Preserve your personal priceless memories. Here at CBC, we transfer VHS, DVDs, Beta, U-matic, and DV cam tapes to modern digital formats. Safely, quickly, and affordably. Call CBC on 467-5437 to get started. In just 2 weeks, your memories will be ready to relive and share again.
Are you ready to turn it all the way up? We make you feel good. Your #1 party station. Non-stop hits and the latest trends in music, fashion, and everything lit. Hit us up on socials at 981 Barbados on IG and 98.1 The One on Facebook.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
15 minutes after 7 o'clock now. As I told you at the top of the show, there's a new approach to how we fish. We tend to go, if I went out, I just throw everything out and just do it. If I hook it, it is mine. And so that's the end of it. Or is it really? And when we do it like that, What harm are we causing the environment, our sea environment? And so we're taking a look at that, and these new initiatives that are being done by the Ministry of Fisheries and all the other partners as well. When we talk to Nia Brown, who is a project officer of this new project we're talking about in just a moment. Jaleesa King is a fisheries biologist with the Barbados Fisheries Division, and the fisheries legal consultant of the Barbados Fisheries Division is Michaela Williams. Ladies, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
All young ladies on this project indeed. Nia, I'll start with you. Talk to me about this project and what is this project designed to do?
Okay, so RIBIC is a regional project that is funded by GEF, which is the Global Environment Facility, FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization, and UE, and that is through Suriname, Trinidad and Tobago, Guyana and Barbados. And the main purpose of it is to reduce bycatch / unwanted catch so that we're fishing in a more sustainable manner. So, yeah.
What's the problem that you're trying to fix through this project?
Basically, making sure that our fishing is more sustainable. For us, we chose one specific fishery that we were focusing on, which is the longliners. It has great commercial value for us. It's the fisheries that we export to America. And so for us, we also wanted to maintain our market access. To do that, we had to make sure that we're fishing in a sustainable manner that aligns with the US regulations as well as what Barbados wants to see in the future.
What's the scope of the project?
So the project is a 4-year project. We have 4 main components. A lot of it is communication, helping legislation and kind of informing that. And then a big component of it is the pilot projects, which we would have completed, which are informing how we're going to go forward with sustainable practice.
And how long is the project for?
4 years. So we are now into year 3, and we've done the first set of trials in year 2, and we're about kind of closing out. So a lot of it is about communication, outreach, and getting people to understand what we found when we did the research.
So now I'm curious. This is the 3rd year. What were the successes over years 1 and 2?
So year 1 was largely understanding what was previously being done, how the guys were fishing in the longline environment, what gear they were using. And then it was going to kind of international research, what they were doing across the world and seeing how that could fit in the Barbados context. We came up with the circle hooks because we found that the biggest barriers for the US market access is the protection of ETP species, which are endangered, threatened and protected species. So those are things like your turtles, your rays and certain shark species that we don't want to be catching. And so changing gear is an easy way to make sure that you're not catching these things, because the modification means that you can't, for example, hook a turtle in its mouth. And if you do hook a turtle, how you're able to release and handle it.
As a biologist for the Barbados Fisheries Division, how efficient are our fishers really at being able to meet the criteria set out in this project?
Well, because it's a pilot project, it's just being implemented. I think the trials have been very efficient and effective in transitioning into the sustainable practices that we need to while maintaining the same level of catch.
And so what does it mean? What did the Barbados Fisheries Division have to do as a consequence of the engagement in this project? It's a regional project, but the Barbados element of it, I want to hear now, what have you had to do till now to see that we are actively doing what we are agreeing to do from this engagement?
Okay, well, we had to contact the stakeholders, the fishermen, kind of get buy-in from them, and kind of promote why these circle hooks were. Obviously, the trial proved that in and of itself, but it was largely communicating with the fishers and kind of getting them into that space and that environment of thinking sustainably.
And so what's the threat if they don't get into that headset and get into that practice of doing what we're asking to do?
So as Nia said, we export, this particular fishery exports. So it is going to threaten their livelihood, and once you can't get access to the market, it's going to be difficult. So they see the value in that and they want to comply because of that.
So that's the economics of it. But then the other side of it now is that we are also protecting, I suppose, species and varieties and giving them longer life so they do what they're to do so that we can also feed ourselves in the long run as well.
Correct.
Do you get the sense that the fishers are cognizant sufficiently about the value of not using this particular hook and not overfishing and not fishing the young and because we want them to live a little bit longer? Do they get it?
I think they do get it, and I think because of the strategy that we've used, we've kind of contacted influential fisher folk who have kind of preached to the other fishermen that this is, this is a good sustainable practice, and they've kind of did it in a way that everybody understands and everybody knows. Well, everybody can play, you get the one-off that won't, but I think everybody's generally on board with this particular switch.
Michaela, as a legal consultant, when we don't comply, what's the penalty?
So the Sustainable Fisheries Management and Development Act sets out regulations, specifically sets out for the change for the gear to be sustainable. It identifies for us to be able to increase our sustainability within fisheries, we have to look at ways to be able to protect these species as well as to commercially fish. So that's essentially what we're working with in terms of learning more on how to be able to improve our fisheries. And as Nia spoke on the project heavily influenced for certain sections on the change in the gear.
Mm-hmm. And so what's the legal component of that? I could choose to use whatever gear, can't I?
Well, no. Within the fisheries division, we encourage persons to be able to comply through these projects through being able to have stakeholder consultations. That is our main mandate, to be able to work with our stakeholders.
And so there's some consultations that are coming up near. Let's talk a little bit about that and this relationship that you're having with the folks who are part of this ecosystem of the industry, so that everyone along the way understands what we're trying to achieve here. How are you going about that with the project?
So to begin with, we did a lot of consultations with the guys kind of dockside, which was really interesting to see how meeting them where they're at, so meeting them in their environment. They took us on the boats, they showed us the gear, and we got a really good understanding of how they're fishing and the challenges they have at sea. And then since then, we've done the trials with them, and even then, a lot of the project officers, so it's myself and a couple of other ladies and the complete Barbados Fisheries team, we went down and we helped them change out the gear for the pilots. And through that, we were getting a lot of questions about the gear. When they come back in, we go back out and we meet them again and we talk about, what the results of the projects were. So firstly, it was the fishermen, the specific longline fishermen. And now because we've gotten the results, it's letting the rest of the sector know kind of the success that we're having with potential gear changes. So we're going to be doing that through public awareness campaigns, through skits and stuff like that, so that it's more accessible for everyone and they can kind of get a sense of what's going on and kind of communicate this quite large project in kind of a tiny dose that's a bit more fun and relatable to everyone.
And that's social media here now. I could feel it, I could hear it coming, yes. Traditional media, let's use traditional media as well. Many people still do. And so they're going to be splashed all over the media so people can see for themselves.
So we're doing in-person events as well. It's not just going to be social media, but also things like infographics and stuff like that, classic ways of communicating scientific findings to a broader audience. I think we're going to make sure that we maintain, classic media.
Do I, as the consumer, do I have a role to play in all of this?
Yeah, you always do, I think, with sustainability. You can ask your vendors questions about the fish. You can ask them about the size. You can even just go and research a bit on your own and find out. There's so many different species that can be caught in Barbados's waters. And there's so many different ways that the entire fish can be used. So even just using the fish from, if you're not buying the fish filleted or cut up, how can you use the entire thing in your garden or, as animal food, things like that. All of those things are sustainability because it's creating less waste and it's contributing to the circular economy.
Michaela, this has an end. The end is to change behavior.
Yes.
But sometimes to change behavior as a good parent, one has to put guardrails in place. Would this project also require any changing of written legislation, written communication? What is it? What are the changes that one can expect as well?
So we currently, as I mentioned, the Sustainable Fisheries Management and Development Act is actually a suite of laws. There's also the Sustainable Fisheries Management and Development Seafood Markets and Seafood Businesses Act that governs more so the post-harvest sector in terms of how we see the fish in the markets. And those are the two major changes that have come since 2025. And this project has been a major contributor in getting information on how we can move forward in terms of writing sustainable pieces of legislation, supporting the project by, supporting them with our research and also supporting them through finding new ways to be able to dig deeper in how we're going to be able to move forward.
It's a very exciting project, I must tell you, indeed. And so, because we're working along with Guyana, Suriname, and Trinidad and Tobago, how do we all, and how can you bring all the information together so that we're all swimming, fishing on the same page?
So that's an amazing question. I'd like to preface by saying they've all chosen they have different fishing technology and gear that they're using because their waters are so drastically different. We're so close, but they're so different.
Yes.
So like, for example, they're using gill nets and stuff like that. Their fishery is completely different. But it's been very interesting. We do lots of calls. We're having a workshop here in October across the region with all the partners, and we've done a number of these where we come together collaboratively and we talk about what we've been finding, and it's a good space where we can learn from each other's mistakes and how we can move forward in a more sustainable manner.
I'm excited for this, for you, and for this as well. I think it's going to portend well for all of us, consumers and engagers in the fishing economy, as well as if we take this project quite seriously. So what shall we expect next? The blast of social media and media?
Yeah, you can expect the social media campaigns. You can look out for that. But I think on like a smaller level, on a consumer level, you can look out for better quality fish, hopefully. So the hooks also, where they're catching the fish, there's so much that goes into it, not just how much fish they're catching, but the quality of fish that you're hoping to get. All of that plays into it when you have a gear change. And hopefully you're having a lot more happier fishermen.
Yes, and consumers indeed, you're right. And so, Jaleesa, you want to hear the outcomes, right? You want to hear from consumers, hey, I've seen the drastic change as a consequence.
Definitely. That would be great to hear from them, to hear from the consumers. And as Nia said, the consumers do have a role to play. Like, for example, for the mahi-mahi, if you see an undersized dolphin.
Marlin, a dolphin.
Yeah. I was going to say dolphin. If you see an undersized dolphin, it's up to you as a consumer to try not to purchase it, you know,
Right.
to be a part of the sustainable action by saying no. And then when you said no, the fishermen get the idea, like, I can't sell this fish anymore. So why would I go and catch it? So the consumer definitely has a role to play. I would love to hear from them, and we definitely hear from the fishermen their thoughts. So we also have some studies going on that would influence the policy going forward for mahi-mahi. We do dolphin fish tagging. We're trying to do some maturity studies as well, because we've been hearing, you know, the smaller ones are mature, but we need to see for ourselves in the fisheries division if that is so. So we're definitely doing some science in the background to be accurate and be sure that this is what it is.
This is fun. I call it fun, but it's really serious business we get out here with. And so we want to encourage all of you to partner with the Ministry and Division of Fisheries, indeed, for us to be able to effect the changes that we want to see when we go out to water and the fish that we consume. And be mindful that there are some benchmarks we need to meet as well. Nia, thank you so much, Nia Brown, who is the project officer for the RIBIC.
Yes, please.
This is the third iteration, indeed, along with our fisheries biologist in Alisa King and Michaela Williams, our fisheries legal consultant. Well, again, thank you so much. All the best.
Thank you for having us.
You are very welcome. You're very welcome. We're back with more on Morning Barbados right after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Are you ready to turn it all the way up? We make you feel good. Your #1 party station. Non-stop hits and the latest trends in music, fashion, and everything lit. Hit us up on socials at 981 Barbados on IG and 98.1 The One on Facebook. This is your world, your playlist, your station. 98.1 The One.
Good morning. Good morning, Barbados.
Before the island gets going, we're already here. 2 hours every weekday. The people, the stories, and the conversations that matter to Barbados. Guests you won't hear anywhere else. Your health, your culture, your country. No rush, no shouting, just good company to start your day. Morning Barbados, weekday mornings, 6 to 8 on TV8.
open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb, and together we will travel the world.
Preserve your personal priceless memories. Here at CBC, we transfer VHS, DVDs, Beta, U-matic, and DV cam tapes to modern digital formats. Safely, quickly, and affordably. Call CBC on 467-5437 to get started. In just 2 weeks, your memories will be ready to relive and share again.
Are you ready to turn it all the way up? We make you feel good. Your #1 party station. Non-stop hits and the latest.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're 27 minutes to go to the hour of 8 o'clock. If you're into hip-hop, then you got to know this name, Jadakiss. If you are into hip-hop, you know Jadakiss because we play his music. Did I speak out of turn? Good morning to Jadakiss. Welcome to Barbados, first of all.
Thanks for having me. How you doing this morning?
I'm well. And is this your first time to Barbados?
No.
Oh, so this is like again and again. You know this place?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit. All right.
A little bit.
And you brought some people along with you in Kamel Ellis and Leslie Jacobs of the Ultimate Soul Escape. Good morning to you as well.
Good morning.
The name alone sounds fun, Kamel.
Yes.
It sounds like a lot of fun. The Ultimate Soul Escape. What is that?
Well, Leslie is the manager of the Soul Escape.
He threw you under the bus, right? Yes, Leslie, tell me.
Yes, Ultimate Soul Escape, we have a group of travel professionals and we travel around the world. We curate experiences, unique experiences, and we always include special entertainment, which is how we're working with Jadakiss.
And so you brought him and others along to Barbados?
Yes, about 150 guests. We did a buyout of the Oceans 2 Resort. We also spent an evening at Zouk Lounge where Jadakiss performed. And our DJs opened up at Oyston's. So we spent Friday night at Oyston's. So we have really been infused into the Barbados culture since we stepped foot
Do you
here.
like it?
I love it.
That's the word I wanted to hear. I love it indeed.
I love it.
And what was your role, Kamel, in all of this?
My role is that I'm a nonprofit, One World Fest Global, which is a nonprofit based in New York City, and we're about bringing people together of all different races, religions, cultures, and nationalities. Leslie sits on our board of directors, and through her agency, we were offered the opportunity to spread our message to the Caribbean and to Central American countries. So for the last 5 years, what we've been able to do is to do a school supplies drive to the different islands that we've traveled to in order to positively impact the lives of the children there on those islands. So this is our 5th year doing it. The first year we were in Antigua, then Panama, Jamaica, St. Martin, And this year we've been blessed to come here to Barbados and work with the great kids at the Frederick Smith Secondary School with the principal, Chanel Wade, and that's been a great experience for us.
We'll take 5th place. It's all right. It's okay.
This was the 5th year.
That's all right. I know it's the 5th year, 5th place. But we're in the season of emancipation in Barbados as well. A whole season that's been running for months now. It ends on Thursday coming. And so for us, part of it is raising the awareness of who we are, what we have, and that what we have has great potential and value, and sometimes better when compared with anything else across the world. And I recognize that through the Ultimate Soul Escape. That's what you do. You want to bring the best to wherever you go, to show the other people wherever you go that, hey, we have something we can celebrate as ours, and that is really, really good. And so as we get to know more and more about our own strengths, we get to taste and see, and now we recognize that we do have value, and not to cower to anyone of any other race, indeed. And I thank you for that. Like you, Jadakiss. And so they brought you along. You said this is not your first journey to Barbados. You've been here before, a couple times before. I'll use the word, you love the island.
Love it.
Okay, that's a fair comment indeed. Let's talk a little bit about your career thus far. How has it been going for you?
It's going great. I'm blessed, busy, able to. And this is a game. If you're busy, you blessed. So I've been a lot of great opportunities happening. Just happy to be here.
You have had such a storied life. You've had wonderful opportunity as well. When one looks at your journey till now and the rubbing of shoulders with people who've made a difference to who you are as an artist, let's talk a little bit about that and what it has meant to you.
And this game is all about relationships and rapport. So you want to meet people, you want to build bondages with them, you want to always keep your name and your face clean. To do good, diligent business, because we in a backstabbing dog type of business. So the more relationships, the more rapport you have, the more easier it be to get things done.
Well, you've done some big hits too.
I try.
how humble thou art, indeed. And so, and even in that trying, it's almost like effortless for you. I read your story. It said at 12 years old, your parents said to you, "Get out and hustle, though, dude. Get outside and hustle." Do you remember that?
Yeah, they had me. I was doing papers. They just taught me the importance of independence early and, making your own way.
And that is a forever lesson that you have, and it's a lesson for all of us as well. And so in making your own way, you found your foot in hip-hop, you found your voice and in the space as well. And so what's the latest for you?
I got a new podcast, #1 podcast, Joe and Jada. Shout out to my partner, Fat Joe. I got a new documentary that's about to be released with my brothers, called The Trinity. It's the story of the Locks. Got my coffee, Kiss Cafe. It's a coffee company. 3 generations, my dad and my son and myself. We're about to open a brick and mortar back in New York. We just doing things. I'm just happy to be here,
And that's legacy again. It's father, son, and grandson as well. Legacy. And that's something that a lot of us of color, we tend not to do too well. And so that's what you're doing. And is your son interested in hip-hop as well?
Yeah, my son makes music. He got a few projects he released. He graduated from Clark, Atlanta in psychology. So, he's doing his... He's trying to sow his royal oats. He's trying to figure it out.
You see, he's showing his royalty trying to figure it out. But for a black child to graduate means a lot.
Means everything.
Indeed, it means everything.
It means everything.
That's what it means to you.
Everything.
So you look at him and what do you see when you look at your son?
I see a bright young man with a good upside, a good future, very well spoken, very well versed. And that's the best thing for me, that's the best when people meet him and say, his son is a very nice young man. That's good for me.
Nice. There's a perception today of hip-hop. I remember when hip-hop first started, everyone was a rave. But then there's some people who look at it a little differently, who feel that it is not as wholesome as it used to be, and they're concerned about that. What do you say?
I mean, it's always good to be on point and keep the culture airtight and solid. And hip hop's like a big Ferris wheel, I like to tell people. So
it goes around in cycles.
The challenge is being able to stay on the wheel as it goes around. Of course, there's going to be some things that's not your cup of tea, or you might think it's getting a little out of hand. But if everybody play their part, you can keep the wheel turned.
And it's a good choice. Good choices. Leslie, the ultimate weekend now. Let's escape. You plan it. You take some folks around the world, and is it just the Caribbean essentially?
We actually just started expanding out into Ghana, Bali, Cuba. Yeah, we'll be in Bali next month. We'll be in Ghana next year. So we are branching out outside of the Caribbean, but the Caribbean is our core.
Nice. This seems very deliberate, Emil. This sounds very, very deliberate. So talk to me a little bit about that, about why you're tackling these destinations. And I'm watching on the screen as well. Where is this? Producer, talk to me. Where was this? Do you know where this is?
Oh my gosh.
That was at the all white party.
So that was our meet and greet. We hosted a meet and greet on the resort, and it was an all white theme. And this was all the guests getting together. We travel once a year with this group, so a lot of them don't see each other until we have these trips. And this was our welcome party.
Wow, the ultimate soul escape, the welcome party, the white edition. And so, Kemal, going to the places that we know of, we've read of in history, and exploring with them the beauty of hip hop and the beauty of performance and the whole soul experience, that seems to, as I said just now, to be a deliberate ploy, a deliberate effort. Why is it so important?
It's important because we get an opportunity to curate experiences for the people that come from about 7 different states in the United States, and all of them haven't had the opportunity to travel to some of the great places in the Caribbean where the ultimate soul escape trip takes us. And so by being able to expose folks to different cultures and people in different cultures, they get to have experiences that hopefully enrich their lives as they move forward and bring to them something that they can use to share with other people in their lives. And Ultimate Soul Escapes provides us the opportunity to create a legacy of travel and curating experiences and having people really learn different cultures. And for the organization One World Fest, that's what we are about, exposing people to other folks of different cultures with the hope that it takes away some of the fear that's used to divide us as human beings, and we get to see how much more we have in common than we are different. And that's the tagline here: we're all we got, right? Because it's about the human movement and the human experiences. And so a lot of times as humans, we wait until it's time of tragedies for us to come together and really bail each other out of situations. We have to start to try to come together during times of peace as well, and not just when things are hard and when you see all the humans pick themselves up, because we realize that, hey, we're all we got, right? And so our motto at One World is that it's one world and we all have to live here together. And the Ultimate Soul Escape is really an ethos of that.
I'm smiling simply because we've just finished a week where we celebrated the contribution of the right excellent Marcus Mosiah Garvey. He says, rise up, ye powerful race. And so we're all we got. And so we as people of color, we have to band together because we're all we got. And so we can be a force to reckon with, or we can choose to scatter and separate ourselves and be a force that other people don't want to pay attention to. And so Jadakiss, they saw you to be a part of this mission. How did they get you involved in all of this?
I think from last year, we got some mutual friends, and I came out, and the experience was awesome. Everything was carte blanche, real family style, good energy. And she asked me to come back. So now I'm almost like I'm connected now.
Yeah.
And
you don't plan to leave this?
Nah, I'm here. I'm going to be here.
And I don't plan on letting go.
Indeed. Leslie, you said you visited the school, Frederick Smith Primary, and you made donations while you were there. What happened while you were there? How did that come about?
It was a beautiful experience. We donated 150 book bags to the school. We had Hunter College, and we had Amazon also contributed. They were part of the initiative. We met the principal. Some students came in. The math department needed extra assistance, so we calculators, protractors, everything that we did was centered around the math department. We also worked with Breaking Bread, and we fed the homeless in Queens Park. We were there at 6 in the morning, and we fed the homeless, maybe about 140 people. And that was with Tanisha Holder, that's her organization. And BTMI, I just have to tell you, they have been an incredible resource. I cannot even tell you. And because of the support and help that we have gotten and guidance, we're going to be coming back next year.
All right, there we go. No, yeah, man.
Yes.
6. We'll take 6 as well. And so I am so happy to hear you say this. And the Barbados Tourism Marketing Incorporated is an amazing agency that puts Barbados first. And it's lovely to know they've worked with you. It's good to know that you've been able to reach out to help those in need while on the island as well, whether they are homeless that they need some food to eat or children who need opportunity. I thank you for that. And Jadakis, I thank you also so much for being you and producing the kinds of work that you produce to thrill us, because you also have a role to play. And what you've done with your son says that you take it quite seriously. And now you're building the legacy with your father as well. Brilliant work. You're a wonderful example. And we thank you for that.
Appreciate you.
You're very welcome. You're welcome. And thank you as well for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Isn't this fantastic? This is exactly what we talk about every single day right here on Morning Barbados. How we, as people of color, we have a lot to offer. We have a lot of which we can be proud. But when we work together, we can achieve so much more. And so, we're all we've got. That's all right. We're all we've got. Morning Barbados comes right back right after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Are you ready to turn it all the way up? We make you feel good. Your #1 party station. Non-stop hits and the latest trends in music, fashion, and everything lit. Hit us up on socials at 981 Barbados on IG and 98.1 The One on Facebook. This is your world, your playlist, your station. 98.1 The One.
Good morning. Good morning, Barbados.
Before the island gets going, we're already here. 2 hours every weekday. The people, the stories, and the conversations that matter to Barbados. Guests you won't hear anywhere else. Your health, your culture, your country. No rush, no shouting, just good company to start your day. Morning Barbados, weekday mornings, 6 to 8 on TV8.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional being.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
The annual General Assembly of the Caribbean Broadcasting Union was held in Guyana just last week, as a matter of fact, and congratulations to all who received awards. But it was held at a very signal moment in time where the media is being challenged from all ends, whether it's technology, artificial intelligence, that's for survival. And when called upon, the president of the Caribbean Broadcasting Union, a good friend of mine, Anthony Green, the general manager of Starcom Network, addressed the audience there, which included President of Guyana, Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali. And he shared some profound thoughts about media in the Caribbean today. We thought we should share that message with you now. Take a look.
As president of the Caribbean Broadcasting Union, it is my honor to welcome you to the opening of our 57th Annual General Assembly and 37th CBU Media Awards. This year's theme, Caribbean Media and AI, could hardly be more timely. Artificial intelligence is already changing how we gather information, produce content, reach audiences, and run our organizations. AI promises greater speed and efficiency, but also raises difficult questions about accuracy, authorship, jobs, public trust, and the values that should guide its use. Those conversations cannot be answered for us from somewhere else. We must answer them from a Caribbean perspective, grounded in the realities of our markets, the diversity of our languages and cultures, and our responsibility to the people that we serve. And we must place them within an even larger question. How do we build Caribbean media that are not only innovative, but viable? For all the promise of new technology, no tool can substitute for a sustainable business model, trusted journalism, or the resources required to report consistently from and for our communities. Innovation matters, but innovation without viability cannot secure the future of Caribbean media. And the warning signs are before us. Since July 2025, some established Caribbean media outlets or services have ceased operations or publication. Loop News, Sportsmax, iNews in the Cayman Islands, Newsday in Trinidad and Tobago, and here in Guyana, Starbrook News in March. And these organizations did not all operate in the same way, and their closures cannot be reduced to a single cause. But taken together, they are a sobering signal. Behind every closed newsroom or discontinued service are lost jobs, diminished institutional memory, fewer opportunities for young professionals, and one less independent Caribbean voice in the public square. Media viability is therefore not merely a commercial concern. It is a public interest concern. It affects whether citizens can obtain reliable information, whether those in authority are held to account, whether our stories are told in our own voices, and whether our societies can remain informed and resilient in time of crises. Viability has many dimensions: sound revenue models, audience trust, access to technology, fair and enabling policy, the safety and development of journalists, and the capacity to withstand disasters and other disruptions. Meeting that challenge will require media owners, practitioners, governments, educators, advertisers, technology companies, and development partners to work together. Since we last met in Barbados for the 56th Assembly, the CBU has sought to make the cooperation practical. On World Press Freedom Day, our webinar placed media viability at the center of the regional conversation. We also announced a joint research program with the Caribbean School of Media Communication, CARIMAC, and invited members to help shape its priorities. Our new official partnership with UNESCO further strengthens the CBU's ability to advocate, convene, and build capacity across the region. When Hurricane Melissa threatened communications in Jamaica, Cuba, and the Bahamas, and the Turks and Caicos Islands, the CBU worked with one of its key partners, Eutelsat, to offer free satellite capacity and technical support, and we assisted SEDIMA's deployment of regional media teams and mobilized members to promote recovery fundraisers. That response was a reminder that media and communication resilience is not an abstract concept. In an emergency, the truth is, access to trusted information protect communities and save lives. We've also continued to broaden the CBU family, Riches Caraïbes of Martinique, Compass TV, and the Cayman Islands Government Department of Communication and Digital Shark joined the CBU during this year, and we warmly welcome you. At the same time, we recognize that meaningful Caribbean content is no longer only produced within established radio, television, print, and digital newsrooms. It is also being created by independent journalists, podcasters, videographers, producers, and other individual media professionals, sometimes with a small team, but often with little more than a mobile phone and a strong idea. That is why the CBU approved a new category of individual membership, the advanced member. The Secretariat is now formulating a membership campaign with a particular appeal to media professionals under the age of 25. We want emerging creators to see the CBU as a place where they can connect, learn, uphold strong standards, and contribute to the future of Caribbean media. The platforms may change, but the truth is, the need for credible, responsible, and distinctly Caribbean storytelling remains paramount. We've also taken practical steps on artificial intelligence. The rules of the 37th CBU Media Awards were updated to require disclosure and place limits on the use of AI-generated material. Through our colleagues at the Asia Pacific Broadcasting Union, CBU members have also received access to a shared hub of principles, case studies, and practical resources to support the ethical and effective adoption of AI. There is encouraging evidence that the region's content creators are ready to meet the moment. This year, the CBU Media Awards attracted a record 684 entries. That's an increase of more than 25% over the previous year.
And so it was a huge celebration there in Guyana just recently. You just heard from the perspective of the president of the Caribbean Broadcasting Union, Anthony Green, a good guy, really, really good guy. And so proud of him, but so proud of what he had to say as well about the media and in support of what we do as well. We thought we should share that with you. And so that's it for today. My little crew joins me in saying to all of you, have a terrific today. Oh, before I go, happy birthday today to Mrs. Corbin, the wife of Roosevelt Bacco. And so to you, ma'am, I hope you have a lovely day today as you celebrate your birthday. All the best to you all the time. So the little crew joins me in saying to all of you, have a terrific today. Be the will of the Lord. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up.